Couple changes I made to the athlete profile worksheet were his current and also perceived 12-week increases added to most of them: vertical jump, long jump, squat, clean. Um, those should be a little bit more realistic, maybe, with what he's able to do in 12 weeks. Also, I lowered the increases for the sprints. I had before about 1 second, and looking at that, that is a little bit much for an increase. So now I have increases of zero point 0.3 and zero point 0.5, more realistic. And I kept the body weight fat percentage here at 16%. It is a little high, but we'll talk about that in a brief second. If we go over to our needs analysis, took away the oxidative work, put it over at the phosphagen. Not going to need the oxidative stuff for where we're at. Also, the training methods, took those out. I had muscle endurance here at 4%. I added it to the hypertrophy. That hypertrophy will help with that body fat percentage that we just talked about. So we're going to create a little bit, focus more, a little bit more on building lean muscle mass here before he gets into the season. My main stuff I changed here was due to the hamstring strain protocol. Before I had Nordic hamstring curls in here. As you can see, it's not in here anymore, and that is due to the research that I did. This is my annotated bibliography. Talks about how hamstring injuries are 29% of injuries reported for track and field. The methods used talks about how the Nordic hamstring curl is not the most beneficial for several reasons, it being actually unilateral. If we look at it, the dominant hamstring that's not injured usually takes over in the movement. It's open chain and it's single joint. Most sports are actually going to be closed chain. We're going to be connected to the ground there, and we're going to have multi-joint movements, especially when it comes to the attachments of the hamstring. So it talks about here different exercises that we can do that will be more sport-like and incorporate the eccentric loading patterns that we need to improve hamstring strength. So there's my research on that. You can check that out. Also, if we go back to the needs analysis, I added a lot to the movement analysis, more in-depth and precise look at the movements, the muscles used, and also the training methods. I put in one exercise for each of them, but there could be many more, but just so you get an idea of what you're looking for. And that will be all of it for my revised edition of my APNA.